So today we'll be doing process configuration strategies. Because as you know, any production operation management is what? Input, process, and output. In that process, we are adding value to the input. So the output is more valuable than the input. Whether you are in producing any product or doing any service. This is the basic function of a production or operations management. Now, Arshita, you are the only one, so you just read it out. What is a process?
Process.
What is a process?
Ma'am, I read it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you are the only one just now.
Okay, no issue, ma'am. A process is a series of steps and decisions involved in the way work is completed. One may not realize it, but processes are everywhere and in everyone aspect of one's leisure and work.
So anywhere, wherever you doing some process. Even if you are relaxing, you are listening to the music, or you are doing yoga, or you are just enjoying a movie or whatever, that process is going on. So whether you are at work or leisure, process is going on. Even if you are sitting idle, that form of relaxation is also a process. It is giving you calm, it is giving you pleasure. Continue.
Another definition of process is repeated tasks that arise in the performance of an assignment in different sectors of an enterprises. There are the recurring results of for an individual task with measurable inputs, measurable added value, measurable output given by Fisher 1993.
So in 1993, Fisher had given this definition.
Okay.
Just one second. So whatever input you are giving, that has also to be measurable. Then whatever value are adding to that during the process, some value is being added to the input. That is also measurable. And whatever output you are getting, that is also measurable. That is what Fisher says. Because otherwise, how will you know whether value is being added to the input or not? Yes, continue.
One can also say a process is a series of progressive and interdependent steps by which an end is attained. It's a systematic series of actions directed to some end. A process can be a series or set of activities that interact to produce a result. It may occur only or be recurrent or periodic.
So it is not that the process is not repeatable. It can be repetitive. It can happen only once, or it can be periodic, or it can recurring. Maybe it is not periodic. There's no any definite period. One might happen in first month, second month might happen in third month, and so on. So it can be anything. But process is something that keeps on going on. Something is done to the input so that you can get the desired output. That is your goal. Classifying process.
In operation management, classification is a process of grouping similar items together based on their characteristics. It is used to identify patterns and relationships between different items and to help managers make decisions about how to allocate resources. Operation management involves planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling all the resources needed to produce a company goods and services. The operation management process involves smart use of resources and data to reach goals while keeping costs down.
This we have been repeatedly saying, that you have to do everything efficiently and effectively so that you keep the costs at the lowest level and quality at the highest level. That is the goal of a good operation management process.
Processes fall into 4 different categories for operation management based on the nature of their functions. Some processes relate primarily to the product cost structure. Other addresses the company's product standardization needs, output volume, or production flexibility. Take a look at processes that focus on these type of business considerations and review general guidelines on how to the best select a process to meet the requirements of your product.
So there are 4 types of processes. It will depend upon the product and what type of quality you require, why you require. All those things matter a lot. So these are the 4.
Before one dives into classifying a process, consider the nature of the product it's intended to produce. After all, creating a unique item such as an interstate highway bridge is widely different from producing a million bottles of contact lens solution of thousands of socks in 2 different colors. Here are common processes classification, arranged according to fixed cost, lowest to highest.
So it depends upon the product. Naturally, when you're making a highway, that product is much different from you're making something in mass production like bottles or socks, things like that. The first processes, read.
Project. These generally result in an output of one. Example include constructing a building or catering a party. Although the result of a project is one deliverable, the process of creating the item can be duplicated with the modifications of other projects.
See, projects is something which has a definite start and a definite finish. Like naturally catering to a party, you're throwing a party. Say, for example, a birthday party. So naturally there will be a start. From the day you start planning for it. And then once the party is over, it will end. It is not ongoing. Like for example, making a road is a project because there will be a start date and a finish date. But taking care of the road is an ongoing. So that is not a project. Constructing a building, that is a project. But keeping the building, upkeep of the building, that is not a project. So that you have to be we'll do projects in much detail later on. How projects are built, what techniques are used to make a project. Here you just remember that one of the process is projects. Next
Job
is the job shops.
This type of process produces small batches of many different products. Each batch is usually customized to a specific customer order, and each product may require different step and processing times. Example of job shops products includes a bakery that specializes in baking and decorating wedding cakes. Each one customized for a bride or a programmer that creates customized website for its clients.
So you can say job shops. For when you are doing for someone specific, something specific, then it is a job, which is also known as job process. For example, if you are making a blouse, if you are you a tailor, then naturally a specific skill is required and the specification of the customer. There can be 2 different blouses. So one customer caters to another style, another customer caters to, but for each it is a unique thing. So that is a job. That is classified as a job process. Then you have batch shops.
These produces periodic batches of the same product. Batch shops can produce different products, but typically all the products they produce follow the same process flow.
So for example, if you are making cookies of one style, maybe other ingredients are same, but the design of the cookie is different. There might be some differences in the ingredients also. Like for example, cakes also. You can have a cake shop which caters to a particular customer, but there can be a cake shop which makes it in a batch. In one batch, there will be similar type of cakes. In another batch, some other design will be there. So that is known as a batch shop or a batch process. This is a job shop. Or even a shirt, it can be a job, it can be a batch. Like suppose in a ready-made garment shop where it is being produced, then in one batch, similar type of shirts are being produced. Then it will be a batch shop. But suppose for each customer, a different, like for example, a tailor, he produces generally in job. The process which the tailor uses is job shop. So they can fall in both. If they are doing in batches, then they'll fall in batch shop process. And if they're doing it in for a particular customer, then they'll fall into job shop processing. Then you have flow lines.
This type of process consists of essentially independent stations that produces the same or very similar parts. Each part follow the same process throughout the process. Output on a flow line is dictated by the bottleneck or the slowest operation. The flow line is similar to the assembly line, but the parts do not move at a constant rate dictated by the line speed.
So just like you have a assembly line where automobiles are being produced. So similar products, they flow in a line and it is mass produced. So this is the same thing, like from job, it was single item. In batch, the same item, but it is in a batch. And in flow line, it is a continuous. Same thing is being produced continuously. It is not that after certain times designs can be changed. There has to be flexibility, but comparatively, it will be a much larger. Generally, in mass production, we use flow lines. Process is dependent on product. Production is about creating goods or services. What is production? You're producing, either you're producing goods or you're producing services. So how you do the whole layout, the location, everything, so that the manager have to decide on the efficient way of organizing production for their particular product. Efficient means least wastage. Whatever is required, that many things only you procure and then you produce it so that least wastage is there. The best method of production depends on the type of product being made and the size of the market. Naturally, if the size is large, like there are so many people, like for example, today there is a large market for ready-made products because people are, even they have to make some customization, they can do it individually, but they, because of the price and the quality, they go for mass production. So we have already seen that there are 4 types of process. So naturally there are 4 types of production. Now Harshita, you read it.
Yeah. There are 4 main types of productions to choose from: job production, batch production, Flow production. Project.
At present, we won't be doing project in detail because there is another chapter on project management. So everything will be done in detail when we are covering that project management portion. So you can see. See, this is job production. There is a tailor, and like according to the fashion and the design and the input of every customer, she is producing a garment. You can see this. So this is a job production. This is batch production. This is a baker who is producing cookies or cakes or whatever it is, whatever you want to think, of one type in one batch. So this is a batch production. And then you have flow production, where bottles, over here it is bottles, it can be automobiles, it can be bicycles, it can be anything which is being mass produced in one flow. In one flow, so you can see, just like you have in mathematics, like you have discrete variables, where each point is separate from the other. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are all discrete variables. But when these becomes 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, so it will become closer. These things will become more continuous. Okay. Now suppose here it is you have a group 1.001, 1.002, 1.0, it will be still closer. So from discrete, you are going to continuous. Mathematically, you can say from job production, you are discrete. Each item is separate from the other item. And here this is something which is in between your batch production, and flow production is continuous.
Yes, ma'am.
Job production, these are the characteristics of a job production.
In this type of production, every job is different from the other in terms of type, cost, efforts, consumption of material, or specification. This is used when one item at a time is produced. Job production is an important concept in manufacturing. It is driven by exact need or requirement of a customer. Depending upon the need, the team of workers produces the product or goods specifically for the customer. Job production basically focus on low volume of production but offer a high variety of the finished product.
So naturally, volume is low because one at a time you are producing only one item. So volume will be low, but the quality will be high. Examples of job production?
Some example of job production to create customized product for customer are: building construction is a job production where each building has a different architecture, design, landscape, geography, investment, material, etc. Creating customized clothes like wedding gown, tuxedos require custom planning, design and execution, and uses expertise of tailor to stitch these special cloths. Jewelry items like necklaces, bracelets, ring, etc. are often customized using special design, metal, gems, etc.
So over here also we are now moving from job production to batch production. Maybe in one batch similar type of necklaces will be produced, and another bracelets will be produced. So maybe two people can buy the same type of necklaces and same type of bracelets. Now that is possible, but there was a time it was totally a job production. The efficient craftsman used to work on a particular necklace or a particular bracelet and designed it and produced in the way the customer wanted it. So how you are seeing it from job, we have gradually moved to your batch production, and from batch production to flow production. So all these examples above show the use of job production to manufacture niche products. So it is not for everyone. It is for some particular customer needs. It is niche. It is not mass, for the niche. So you can see job production is what? Low volume production. Expert skilled worker is required, because naturally it is according to the requirement of a customer, and a person who has the expertise in that particular field only will be able to cater to the demands of the customer. Then customized timelines. Naturally, you have to tell the customers in how many days you will be completing that. You have to have a very good idea of what all events are required to produce that and how much time each event will take to produce that. And high quality product. So these are the four things which is associated with job production: low volume production, expert skilled workers, customized timeline, and high quality product. So these are the characteristics, features of job production. As we have already discussed, low production volume. Job production focuses on delivering goods for one customer at a time. Varied timelines. Since the product is dependent on individual customer needs, there won't be a fixed timeline, but a varied timeline, and there has to have the expert should have a very good knowledge about what that time should be. Highly skilled workers. Naturally, it is according to the needs of a particular customer. So whatever the customer needs, so then the worker should be skilled in that particular area. Whether he is a tailor, whether he is an architect, whether he is an interior designer, whether he or she is any other field, jeweler, in that also you need the expertise not only of the person who's casting the jewelry, but also who is designing the jewelry. So you need very skilled workers for job production. Detailed planning, because it is done for one particular item. So detailed planning has to be done for that particular item. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of job production, Harshita?
Yes, ma'am. Some advantages of this method of manufacturing are higher quality of finished product. Customizations can be done based on exact customer demand. Higher customer satisfaction for a high quality product. Because of expertise of skilled worker, companies can charge higher for job production.
Some drawbacks of job productions are
Higher cost of production. Requires special planning every time a new customer comes. Very slow volume of production.
now Praveen has come. So Praveen, you read.
Yes, ma'am. Job production is an important concept in manufacturing. It is driven by exact need of requirement of a customer. Depending upon the need, the term of workers to produce the product or goods specifically for the customer. Job production basically focus on low volume of production but offer a higher variety of the finished product.
Finished good. See, because see what happens in a customized, you can get 10 shirts, but they are of the similar design. Maybe you like the collar, but you don't like something else of that particular shirt. In some other batch, you might like something, you might not like. So it will not be entirely to your taste. But you go to a tailor and you get a shirt design according to your taste. So that is the basic difference between a job production and a batch production. So this is a what? Job production. It is a wedding gown. This is again a building which has been designed for something, maybe an office or maybe some building, but according to someone's taste, someone's requirement, accordingly. Bridge. This is also according to maybe during certain royalties time, whatever it is for whatever. So this is a job production. It is not mass production. You won't find such bridges all over the world, or even at one place. You won't find it more than one. So these are examples of job production. Now, Praveen, you continue.
It's mean, ma'am. Kindly describe the job production. मतलब job production जो है एक particular task है कि ये complete करना है, बस इतना. इसको अगर कहेंगे तो job production, right? मतलब कोई एक प्रोडक्ट या कोई एक बिल्डिंग बनानी है तो एक कंप्लीट टास्क है कि इतना बनाना है, तो उसको हम जॉब प्रोडक्ट बोलेंगे, प्रोडक्शन.
क्या चीज समझ नहीं आया?
मैम थोड़ा सा जॉब प्रोडक्शन को डिस्क्राइब कर रहा था मैं कि जॉब प्रोडक्शन कोई एक पर्टिकुलर टास्क होता है कि उसको कंप्लीट करना है और ये दिस इज अ जॉब प्रोडक्शन.
हाँ, वो किसी एक क्लाइंट के रिक्वायरमेंट है या ग्रुप ऑफ क्लाइंट का टेक इट एज अ वन, उसके स्पेसिफिकेशन से कोई काम करना है.
ओके ओके.
जैसे मान लो शर्ट है, तो एक टेलर के पास जाओगे तो जॉब प्रोडक्शन होगा. वो तुम्हारे स्पेसिफिकेशन से शर्ट बनाएगा. क्या उसकी लेंथ होनी चाहिए, क्या विड्थ होनी चाहिए, किस तरह का कॉलर होना चाहिए, जो भी तुम बोलोगे, जैसा बोलोगे वो बना देगा. बट इफ यू गो टू अ रेडीमेड शॉप, यू माइट फाइंड 10 शर्ट्स ऑफ द सेम डिजाइन, बट हो सकता है उसमें कुछ तुम्हें पसंद आ रहा है, कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, एकदम एग्जैक्टली तुम्हारे स्पेसिफिकेशन से नहीं होगा. तो दैट इज वन बैच. So that is the main difference between a job production and a batch production. Do you get my point?
Okay.
Now you read this batch production.
Yes. Batch production, the all the product manufactured under a batch are similar in terms of type, cost, efforts, consumption of the material or specification. Batch production is a method of manufacturing where the product are made as a specified group or amount with a time frame. A batch can go through a series of steps in a large manufacturing process to make the final desired product. Batch production is used for many types of manufacturing that may need a smaller amount of production at a time to ensure a specific quality standard or change in the process. This is opposed to large mass production or continuous production method where the product or process does not need to be checked or change as frequently or periodically.
So here for one particular batch, same process is used, same material is used, same specifications, planning is done for them. For example, if you're making one batch of cookies, so each cookie will be similar. दूसरा बैच बनाओगे, हो सकता है उसमें कुछ चेंज कर दोगे, तुम उसके इंग्रेडिएंट में कुछ चेंज कर दोगे, उसके डिजाइन में कुछ चेंज कर दोगे, तो दैट इज अ बैच. और यू आर मेकिंग शर्ट्स, एज आई सेड, हो सकता है मटेरियल चेंज हो जाए और सब चीज बढ़िया है, पर मटेरियल इट इज नॉट अकॉर्डिंग टू समवन वंस क्लाइंट्स प्रेफरेंस. इट इज अ जनरल, जो लोगों को लाइकिंग होगा उस पर डिपेंड करेगा. It can go through a number of steps. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ही स्टेप पे खत्म हो जाएगा, but each step for one batch, each step will be similar. तो बहुत चीजें हैं, कुकीज है, कि बेकरी है, शर्ट्स हैं, हो सकता है मास हाउसिंग भी आजकल हो रहा है. मास हाउसिंग होता है, रो ऑफ हाउसेस है, एकदम सिमिलर डिजाइन है. उसमें हो सकता है तुम बाद में अपने हिसाब से कुछ चेंजेस भी कर सकते हो, पर जब when you are going to buy it, each house is of the same type and you have to decide which one you are going to buy it.
Batch is called to अगर हम बात करें फार्मा इंडस्ट्री, राइट मैम?
एग्जांपल्स पढ़ो.
बेक्ड गुड, क्लॉथ्स, computer chips, computer software, die or mold making, electrical goods, flat pack furniture, jet engine production, machine tools manufacturing, material coating, newspaper, magazines.
तो एक बैच में एक दिन का न्यूज़पेपर निकला, तो एक बैच हुआ ना. मान लो पहली तारीख का है तो पहली तारीख का है, दूसरी तारीख का फिर डिफरेंट हो जाएगा उसको, और सब चीज तो होगा, मगर जो न्यूज होगा वो अलग होगा, सेकंड दिन से केटर करेगा. तो इट इज इन डिफरेंट बैचेस. मैगजीन भी मेनली इट इज, इफ इट इज वीकली तो एक वीक का, या इट इज मंथली और बाई वीकली, व्हाटएवर इट इज द पीरियड ऑफ द बैच, बट इट विल बी इन वन बैच, इट विल बी ऑफ द सेम टाइम.
Characteristics of batch production. The work is of repetitive nature. There is a functional layout of various manufacturing process. One operation is carried out on whole batches and then is passed on to the next operation and so on. Same type of machines is arranged at one place. It is generally choose where trade is seasonal. Ma'am, second line not shown.
It is generally chosen where trade is seasonal or there is a need to produce a great variety. जैसे एक बैच में अब मान लो कि कुकीज ही बना रहे हो, तो हो सकता है उसका डो बना रहे हो वो एक जगह बनेगा. There might be some machine which is making the dough. फिर दूसरी जगह उसकी कटिंग होगी, तीसरी जगह उसकी बेकिंग होगी, चौथी जगह उसको फिर पैकिंग होगी, एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. तो सेम टाइप्स ऑफ मशीन अरेंज्ड एट वन प्लेस. ये नहीं है कि अब उसका यदि 10 बैचेस बना रहे हो, तो ये थोड़ी है कि पहले बैच का मशीन एक जगह होगा, डो का मशीन एक जगह होगा, बेकिंग का मशीन दूसरा होगा. ऐसा नहीं होगा ना. जितने भी बेकिंग होगी वो एक जगह होगा, जितने भी डो का काम होगा वो एक जगह होगा, जितने भी कटिंग का काम होगा वो एक जगह होगा। बिकॉज पहला और फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इज यू शुड डू द वर्क इन द मोस्ट इफिशिएंट वे। सो कम से कम तो लेआउट भी, जो हम लोग इसके बाद जब लेआउट करेंगे तो पढ़ेंगे कि लेआउट भी प्रोसेस पर डिपेंड करेगा, किस तरह का प्रोसेस है जिससे तुम्हारा काम इफिशिएंटली हो सके, कम से कम वेस्टेज हो सके। जैसे अभी कहना, इट इज जनरली चोजन वेयर ट्रेड इज सीजनल। अब सीजन है अभी, यू टेक मैरिज सीजन, मैरिज सीजन है तो नेचुरली उस समय क्या वेदर कैसा है, वेदर कैसा होगा उस तरह का डिमांड होगा, तो नेचुरली ज्यादातर मिठाइयाँ या क्लोथ्स या ज्वेलरी जो भी उस केटर करेगा उस नीड को, उस तरह का एक पूरा बैच ही बनेगा। जरूरी नहीं है कि एक इंडिविजुअल के लिए अलग अलग बने। जैसे ज्यादातर लोग यदि गुलाब जामुन प्रिफर करते हैं तो जो गुलाब जामुन का एक बैच बनेगा, एक रसगुल्ला का बैच बनेगा, एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट। और ज्वेलरी है तो मैरिज सीजन में क्या क्या कौन कौन सी ज्वेलरी, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि एवरी आइटम इज बीइंग crafted for an individual customer. It can be crafted for a whole bunch of one customers, so that people can, maybe two people can buy similar things. It is not that in batches, means a batch is being produced. It is not for individual, and you have to buy from that batch. What are the advantages and disadvantages of batch production?
मैम थोड़ा सा यहाँ डाउट था, तो
पूछो।
एक्चुअली बैच जो जैसे मैंने अभी तक जो देखा है, बैचेस को हम क्यों, मतलब प्रोडक्शन जो हम बैच वाइज क्यों करते हैं, तो इसमें मुझे जो लगता है कि अगर कोई पर्टिकुलर हमने एक दिन का प्रोडक्शन किया, उसमें क्या क्या रॉ मटेरियल्स रहे, मतलब जो भी मिक्सिंग किया हमने, वेरियस टाइप ऑफ इंग्रेडिएंट और रॉ मटेरियल्स वी आर मिक्सिंग फॉर वन प्रोडक्ट, तो उसमें क्या क्वांटिटी रही, क्या क्वालिटी रही, उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए, और इन वो जब मार्केट में जाएगा तो अगर कोई फेलियर आता है तो उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए भी हम बैचेस डिफाइन करते हैं। तो बैच नंबर उस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट पे हम पेस्ट करते हैं, मतलब डिस्प्ले करते हैं।
जैसे हमने कहा ना कि मैथमेटिक्स में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि पहले डिस्क्रीट 1 2 3, ये 3 डिस्क्रीट नंबर है, अलग अलग है। तो ये समझ सोचो कि जॉब प्रोडक्शन है। यही जब हम इसको और क्लोज कर देते हैं, माने 1.01, ये उससे क्लोज ही है, 1.02, 1.03, ये तीनों नंबर क्लोज है, तो इसको एक बैच बना लिया। और इसको और क्लोज करेंगे तो फ्रॉम डिस्क्रीट यू आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यूअस, तो टोटल डिस्क्रीट इज योर जॉब प्रोडक्शन, बीच का है बैच प्रोडक्शन। यू गेट नॉलेज थ्रू जॉब प्रोडक्शन, तुम्हें एक किस चीज को बनाने के लिए क्या क्या किस चीज की जरूरत है, क्या प्लानिंग है, बट इट इज फॉर अ इंडिविजुअल आइटम। दैट इज व्हाई आप देखिए पहले इतना मास प्रोडक्शन नहीं होता, एक तो मशीन्स नहीं थे, अभी मशीन्स की वजह से अब प्रिसाइजनेस भी ज्यादा हो गया है ना। अभी मान लीजिए आप एक ये खरीदे पेन ड्राइव, तो आपको ये थोड़ी सोचना पड़ेगा कि आपका लेनोवा का लैपटॉप है कि आपका किसी और कंपनी का है, अब पेन ड्राइव तो उसमें फिट करेगा ही, क्योंकि प्रिसाइसनेस पहले से मशीन की वजह से प्रिसाइसनेस बहुत ज्यादा हो गया है। प्रिसाइसनेस ज्यादा होने से यू नो एग्जैक्टली, जैसे इनपुट हमने पहले ही कहा था ना कि मेजरेबल है, और उसमें फिट करने वाला जो सामान है दैट इज ऑल्सो मेजरेबल। तो दोनों को मेजर, आप क्वांटिटिव करके दोनों को मेजर कर एक दूसरे में फिट कर सकते हैं। यदि ये वेगनेस होता तो नहीं हो पाता। तो जॉब का हम लोग इंडिविजुअल की कर रहे हैं, बैच करते हैं, उसी चीज को और आसान कर दिया कि एक बैच में एक तरह का सामान बनाएंगे, और मास प्रोडक्शन कर दिए फ्लो प्रोडक्शन में, जहां पूरे एक फ्लो में एक तरह का सामान पड़ेगा। दैट इज व्हाई टुडे मास प्रोडक्शन इज पॉसिबल, व्हिच वाज नॉट पॉसिबल when people were working manually. अब धीरे धीरे with robotics and ये artificial intelligence, more and more mass production is being made possible. और number of items being produced is also has increased tremendously. अब क्राफ्टमैन कितना भी अच्छा हो, मास्टर क्राफ्टमैन है, पर वो दो आइटम को एक जैसा नहीं बना सकता। देयर विल बी सर्टेन डिफरेंसेस, क्योंकि दैट इज ह्यूमन। बट इफ इन मास प्रोडक्शन व्हेन यू आर यूजिंग मशीनरी, यू कैन प्रोड्यूस सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स एंड नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स। दैट इज वन ऑफ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ कंप्यूटराइजेशन इज दैट कि रिपीटेटिवनेस, इट डज नॉट गेट बोर्ड। आप उसको 100 टाइम्स भी कहेंगे और 1000 टाइम्स भी कहेंगे कि एक ही सामान बनाओ, तो बोर नहीं हो जाएगा। हम लोग एज ए इंडिविजुअल विल बिकम बोर्ड। एक ही चीज को कहेंगे 10 बार। हमारी आपसे कह दे आई विल वर्क फॉर 24 आवर्स अ डे, खाली यही सेंटेंस लिखने के लिए, कुछ दिन के बाद, कुछ एक दो सेंटेंस के बाद अब थोड़ा सा कुछ मिस्टेक कर देंगे। तो रिपीटेटिवनेस हैज इंक्रीज्ड बिकॉज ऑफ मशीन। पहले तो ऑटोमेशन था, अब ऑटोमेशन से नाउ कंप्यूटराइजेशन हो गया है। तो these things have affected our producing something in batches and now in masses. इससे क्या होता है कि तुम्हारा क्वालिटी भी इंप्रूव करता है और योर क्वांटिटी। एंड sometimes what happens when you buy from batches, there is a scope of doing certain variation in it so that it caters to your particular individual needs. मतलब सब कुछ चेंज नहीं करना, थोड़ा सा कुछ चेंज करना तो आप चेंज कर लीजिए। जैसे आदमी अभी मासेस में घर खरीदते हैं, फ्लैट्स बन रहे हैं, सभी लोग फिर उसको थोड़ा बहुत अपने हिसाब से चेंज करते रहते हैं। ऐसा नहीं है कि आफ्टर बीइंग यूज्ड मे बी एक्सटीरियर इज द सेम, बट इंटीरियर में कुछ कुछ फर्क हो जाता है। You read the advantages.
The advantages of the batch production system are it does not need a high specialization of the operator. It is easier to plan. The disadvantage of the batch production system are the production system is not very flexible, being unable to adapt to the customer demand. Downtime increase, and with it production costs, resources and raw material are not used enough, as there are numerous stop waiting for the next batch. The delivery time increase.
एक पूरा बैच बनाएंगे तभी डिलीवर करेंगे ना। रिसोर्सेज एंड रॉ मटेरियल आर नॉट यूज्ड इनफ। हो सकता है कि सारा कुछ एक बैच में नहीं यूज हो रहा होगा, कुछ उसमें बच जा रहा होगा। तो देयर इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ, so it is not that each type of production process has some advantages and some disadvantages. Why it is so important? प्रवीण के बाद कोई और आया? अच्छा प्रवीण तुम ही पढ़ो।
These are some of the benefits which make the batch production process a very common and popular technique that people tend to use a lot in the industry. Initial investment: with the help of batch production, the company will be able to use a single machine or equipment to produce different product at a given period. So the initial capital investment that they have to make during the starting of the production will be a lot less for the company. This is one of the most common benefit that you have to keep in mind, since the capital investment initially will be a lot lesser than the usual practice. The business will be able to save some money on that front, which is very good news.
So initial investment, क्योंकि वो एक ही चीज नहीं प्रोड्यूस करेगा ना, it will be producing तो whole batch के लिए जो भी कर रहे हो, you are doing for a whole batch, तो cost of production will go down. Risk reduction. Yes, Praveen.
Ma'am, I will read.
Okay.
Risk reduction. Here we have another one of the benefits which might come along with the amazing batch production of the items. We all know that a single machine will be used to manufacture the products in a single step. This will make sure that there are certainly no risks which can be introduced during the process of manufacturing. In case there is a product category which is not able to have that much sale on the market, the companies don't have to worry about the, because there are some other options which are still available, and hence there is no risk at all.
See, they are producing so many batches. So एक batch का नहीं भी बिका तो at least जैसे you say ना, you don't put all investment में don't put all your eggs in the same basket. ये कहा जाता है ना कि risk को reduce करने के जो जितने भी factors उसको एक साथ मत क्लब कर दो, थोड़ा इसके लिए थोड़ा उसके लिए, तो एक one batch does not do good, so some other batch will do better. So this way your risk is reduced. And then third importance is
Great for seasonal product. One of the most important important things that the manufacturer have to do is provide seasonal product so that the customer can use them. Those companies which use the batch production method are the one that are greatly benefited from it when they have to make the seasonal product for the customer. They can create some large batches of the product and then switch their machinery so that they will be able to use it in the next season. Now that is a benefit which is very important to consider in the case of batch production.
जैसे हम लोग पहले भी बोले सीजनल है, मान लो कि विंटर सीजन है तो दैट टाइम woolen clothes are required. So what type, different type of machinery will be required to knit those woolen clothes. Different designs will be required. और ये भी है कि हो सकता है सीजन ए में जो डिजाइन यूज हुआ वो नेक्स्ट सीजन में नहीं होगा, तो एटलीस्ट फॉर दैट दे शुड, जैसे हमें हमेशा कहना है ना कि वी हैव टू फोरकास्ट करना पड़ता है ना कि कितना है, तो उतना ही बनाओ, उस बैच में उतना ही बनाओ जो सेल हो जाए. आई एम नॉट सेइंग 100%, बट जहां तक हो सके जो भी बना रहे हो सेल हो जाए. वही मशीन यू कैन कीप इट safely, and then in next season you can use those same machines to make different designs, but it's the same thing. woolen clothes बनाना है तो woolen clothes उसी मशीन से बना सकते हो, डिजाइन को चेंज कर दो. woolen clothes हुआ, ज्वेलरी का हुआ, जो भी पर्टिकुलर सीजन में जो डिमांड है उस तरह का उस बैच में निकालो. ज्वेलरी का है, eateries का है, जो भी है, जैसा भी है, according to the season you can produce the amount which is required for that particular season. Next, save time.
Although there is a moment of delay in the batch production process when the machinery of the equipment has to be changed so that the product can go to the next phase of production. There is no doubt that this process helps a lot when it comes to the saving of time. Since you will be producing large amount of items at a single period instead of going after them one at a time, you will be able to save a lot of time on that front, which is very important.
अब जैसे यहाँ यू आर मेकिंग इट इन बैचेस. अब इंडिविजुअल में तो है कि एक इंडिविजुअल के बाद दूसरे इंडिविजुअल को करने में थोड़ा टाइम लॉस होगा. यहाँ वो टाइम लॉस यू कैन सेव इट ऑन बिकॉज यू आर मेकिंग वन बैच. तो कोई ना कोई तो उस खरीदता ही रहेगा एंड बाय दैट टाइम यू कैन प्रोड्यूस अनदर बैच. तो टाइम इज सेव्ड इन बैच प्रोडक्शन. So this is a batch. Cookies का एक batch है. This is bottles का एक batch है. Cards का एक batch है. So this is batch production. So I told you ना, अब cookies आप एक cookie भी बना सकते हैं. Bottle भी यहाँ पर एक bunch of bottles बना सकते हैं. हो सकता है ये बहुत बड़ा assembly line हो, तो यही flow हो जाएगा. कार का भी हो सकता है क्योंकि एक बैच में एक तरह के कार बनेंगे. वन सेम टाइप ऑफ डिजाइन, सेम टाइप ऑफ फीचर्स एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. देन कम्स योर मास ऑफ फ्लो प्रोडक्शन. कौन पढ़ेगा, प्रवीण या हर्षिता?
मैं पढ़ती हूँ. This method involves a continuous production of standardized products on a large scale. Under this method, production remains continuous in anticipation of future demand. Standardization is the basis of mass production. Standardized products are produced under this method by using standardized material and equipment. There is a continuous or uninterrupted flow of production obtained by arranging the machines in a proper sequence of operations. Process layout is best suited method for mass production units. Flow production is the manufacture of a product by a series of operations, each article going on to a succeeding operation as soon as possible. The manufacturing process is broken into separate operations.
So you can see here the volume of the products, of similar products has increased. जैसे हमने कहा ना, पहले हमने डिस्क्रीट था, जॉब था, थोड़ा वो पास आया तो बैच प्रोडक्शन हुआ, बहुत पास आ गया तो कंटिन्यूअस हो गया. तो एक टाइप ऑफ के लिए एक तरह का प्रोसेस होगा. माने देयर कैन बी वेरियस स्टेप्स बट इट विल बी सिमिलर इन नेचर. एंड दैट इज व्हाई टुडे mass production, mass things are so easily available. Whether you go for ready-made garments, you go for jewelry, you go for housing, you go for cars, whatever it is, because of the mass production. And it will depend upon the type of product, whether you will have process layout or product layout. We'll be doing that when we do the layout of a production and the unit, but we'll be again doing that deeply or in detail. जैसे examples हैं car assembly plant, bottling plant, bicycle production line. Characteristics, Praveen, you read.
Characteristics of flow production. The mass of or flow production passages the following characteristics: the unit flow from one operation point to another throughout the whole process. There will be one type of machine for each process. The products, tool, material, and method are standardized. Production is anticipation of demand. Production volume is usually high. Machine setups remain unchanged for a considerable long period. Any fault in flow of production is immediately corrected. Otherwise, it will stop the whole production process.
So production, different operations होते हैं, different steps होते हैं, but for the whole mass, the same thing is going on. So same similar machines are used for each process. The same tools and materials are used. Standardization यहाँ हो जाता है. तो दिस इज डन इन एंटीसिपेशन ऑफ डिमांड. अब नेचुरली डिमांड ज्यादा रहेगा तभी आप उसको अब उतना you will be producing that many of items. Otherwise, it will go waste all your money, because we want to match demand and supply. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए डिमांड कम है सप्लाई ज्यादा हो गया, या सप्लाई डिमांड ज्यादा है सप्लाई कम हो गया. इन बोथ द केस, वन केस यू आर एक्चुअल लॉस हो जाएगा, एक तरफ अपॉर्चुनिटी लॉस हो जाएगा. तो यू हैव टू कीप ऑन सीइंग दैट योर दिस बैलेंस इज मेंटेन्ड.
Advantages and disadvantages of flow production. Increase productivity. Mass production makes it possible to manufacture large volume in less time. There was no need of for workers to run around together supplies or tool. When manufacturers use mass production techniques to illustrate this point, consider iPhones. At a manufacturing site in China, it take about 400 steps to assembly on iPhone. Nevertheless, the plant can produce 500,000 iPhone a day, or about 350 a minute, without the use of assembly line and advanced technology. Would it be humanly possible to produce over 300 phones a minute?
तो यू कैन सी कि मास प्रोडक्शन से हमें कितना फायदा हो रहा है, कितना वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज कर गया है. यू आर प्रोड्यूसिंग 350 आईफोन्स अ मिनट. चाइना इज प्रोड्यूसिंग दैट. तो नेचुरली आज आप देयर वाज अ टाइम आई थिंक व्हेन आई हैड was doing my MSc or something, to buy a scooter, motorcycle भी नहीं, scooter, you had to wait for 4 to 5 months, तब जाकर वो आपको मिलता था. एक फोन खरीदने के लिए आपको, that also landline, you had to wait for time. So with the increase in technology and the advances in technology, mass production has also become easier. Now you don't have to wait. You think about something, a new technology has come, a new type of product has come, and easily it is available in the market, because the technology has made it possible to produce that, the amount which the your market requires. So productivity has increased. Uniformity.
Mass production help ensure each product is the same. As a result, manufacturers have greater control over quality, and consumers know what to expect. On the contrary, if a product is made by hand, consumer might get a product that has greater flaws than the next. Although this may not be a concern, the decor item or certain accessories, consumer do not want car or medical equipment that are not of the highest standard quality.
अब जैसे यूनिफॉर्मिटी ज्यादा है ना विथ मास प्रोडक्शन, क्या विथ हाईली कंप्यूटराइज्ड मशीनरीज, यू प्रोड्यूस items of exactly same quality in greater quantity numbers. So the chances of you have better control over the whole production unit, and this way you are able to satisfy more and more customers. There is uniformity. As I told you, कितना भी अच्छा craftsman हो, master craftsman भी हो, but उसका दो product exactly एक जैसा नहीं होगा. There will be some differences. हो सकता है कहीं कहीं तो flaws, जैसे डिजाइन में तो तुम कर लोगे, मगर कार्स में है या मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट में है कुछ फ्लॉज आ जाएगा. मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट स्पेशली, बिकॉज देयर इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ ऑफ समवन. यदि मशीनरी में ही डिफेक्ट हो गया तो इट कैन कॉस्ट someone's life. So you have to be very careful in it. So uniformity today, especially in medical field, is very important. डिपेंड करता है ना प्रोडक्ट किस लिए यूज हो रहा है. मान लो डिजाइन में थोड़ा इधर उधर हुआ तो कोई बात नहीं है, इट इज नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ, बट फॉर मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट इट इज मैटर ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ. हो सकता है कार में भी कुछ ऐसा फ्लॉ हो गया विच इट इज अ मैटर ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ, तो नेचुरली वैसा कार लेने से क्या क्या फायदा है. अब आई डोंट नो, जैसे अभी टाटा मोटर्स का एक नहीं किसी का डेथ हो गया बिकॉज दे हैड बम्प्ड इन अ रोड
Mercedes.
बैरियर, और वो जो मास होता वो निकला नहीं या कुछ था समथिंग.
Mercedes.
Flaw in the design of the car, or they had not used it properly, something like that. So it is very essential. Then you'll see कि new features are being added to the car so that people are rescued even in case of a very severe accident. ऐसा नहीं है कि we can not eliminate accident altogether, but we have to take certain precautions so that is minimized. The effect of the accident is minimized. So uniformity is very essential in mass production. Then another benefit is
Lower cost. Mass production enables companies to produce large quantity with fewer workers.
Yes, continue.
Instead of having to pay several workers to complete a task by hand, manufacturer use machine to produce goods much faster. These allow company to sell their product at a lower cost without losing profit. Higher quality of life. Due to mass production, more people can afford products that make life easier and more comfortable. Consumer can afford new shoes, clothes, household item, and other goods when they need them rather than having to wait to save up enough money. When common goods are less expensive, people can save money and build their wealth in other way.
So you can see कि with mass production, cost has also gone down and the quality of life has increased. Because अभी देखिए, because of mass production, things have become cheaper. So whatever is for their day-to-day need, the same things, they don't have to meet the same prices which they were spending earlier, and they had to wait for gathering that much money and paying for it. So this has made life better. Next benefit. Acha, Harshita, read.
Faster production. When companies use machinery and mass production techniques, they can develop and produce products much faster. This means they can beat competitors in a race to distribute and market new products, giving them an edge they might not have otherwise. Safer medicine. Mass production of pharmaceuticals and medical equipment leads to higher accuracy and standardization. Consumers do not have to worry about human errors and affecting their medical products. Rapid production of medicine and equipment also helps ensure medical facilities won't run out of supplies. Less error. Machines are designed to perform specific tasks and they are less likely to make mistakes than human during productions. Consider how a machine doesn't get distracted or won't perform poorly due to lack of sleep. Machines help reduces the cost of error.
So you can see it leads to faster production. It leads to safer medicines. Today we have, because of the mass production, the amount has also increased and the durability, the safety, all these things have increased. There is less chance of making error.
Job specialties. The Industrial Revolution and mass production have led to the creation of specialized jobs. For example, factory workers are trained to perform highly specialized tasks. Employers benefit from hiring skilled and efficient employees, and employees develop marketable skill sets. Employees with specific skills may also feel secure in their careers because they are harder to replace. Mass production has also helped create jobs for individuals to teach special skills and train workers. Lastly, mass production has created jobs for workers to repair machinery or make improvements. Increased worker safety. Manufacturers who mass produce goods often employ automation technology to complete strenuous or dangerous tasks. For example, robots used in mass production can safely handle and assemble large and heavy parts. This helps keep employees safe from accident or injuries. Rapid evolution. Imagine a world where everything was still made by hand and produced in small shops. This is how it was before the Industrial Revolution, and it took a lot longer to spread new products and ideas than it doesn't today. Mass production speeds up evolution across all industries, and one innovation leads to the next.
I think this is quite simple to understand. The job, naturally, today you need, like naturally you are an IT professional. So you can be employed in many things, industries, but your job will be specific to some computer related job. Maybe in that also you have some specialized in artificial intelligence. Then you will be making the algorithm for some particular jobs to be done. So job specialties have become very important these days, and naturally increased because of the safety, because of the strenuous work. Like for example, like before, manual scavengers were going down into these holes, which was full of dirt, and cleaning it. But now you have machineries which can be put inside it, and they'll do the cleaning in a much better way than what a manual scavenger will do it. That is one thing. You go to a workshop where there are so many assembly line work which are hazardous to the safety of the worker, but now there are robots to do that work. So this has made the life of workers more safer. And rapid evolution. Today you see, if a car is being, see both the technology, both in the production unit as well as in the information system. So that information also disseminated throughout the world immediately. For example, what happened with that Hindenburg report. Immediately it was disseminated throughout the world, and the prices of stock prices of Adani crashed. Now the evolution has become very rapid because both the technology as well as the information is moving very fast. Now, what are the disadvantages? Praveen, you read. Praveen, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Initial cost, it take a lot of capital and time to build a factory equipment with the specialized machineries. Specialized machinery cost a lot of money, and so does the factory floor space needed to hold assembly line machinery. Initial cost can make it hard for a smaller business to mass production their products. However, it is a worthwhile investment for companies who are confident their sales and productivity can cover initial cost. Less flexibility, factory manager cannot walk up to a machine and ask it to stop what it's doing and complete a different task. Specialized machinery used in mass production is designed to do one specific job. This level of inflexibility can sometimes be problematic. For example, if there's an error in production, companies may have to redesign their process. This can be costly, or if regulation changes, manufacturer may have to make significant adjustment. Lastly, it can be hard to keep up with ever changes consumer demand if a company does not have the mean to be flexible.
So you can see initial cost is high because naturally you will be needing so much of technology, but then because it will increase your productivity and eventually your sales, so you can cover up that initial expenditure. So instead of taking as a disadvantage, you can use it as an advantage. The initial your layout can be high, but at the same time your production or your profit will be higher. So that will take care of it. Then there can be less flexibility because every machine is specialized. If there's something wrong with it, you cannot stop it and say you start doing something else. But then you have to make the machine in such a way if something goes wrong, it should be changed properly, and certain efforts should be done. So flexibility has also to be designed into it. It uses a lot of energy also. So that is way today, and our whole growth is dependent upon the energy sector, and that is why we are going after doing so much of research is being done on uh, alternative energy sources like wind energy, solar energy, so that we are not dependent on fossil energy, electrical energy, all those things. So electrical energy also being produced through solar energy. Then pollution, it also leading to a lot of pollution, but at the same time, measures are being taken to mitigate these pollutions. Simply said, factories cause pollution. During the Industrial Revolution, for example, factories polluted the water and air by burning coal and producing metals and chemicals. But there's one very sad part is that all the polluting companies are being pushed into the third world. So the developed countries, they don't want any pollution. They want the fruit, but not the pollution. And it is being, and just because the developing countries, they require this, they are bound to cater to all the polluting companies. They are also directly realize pollutants into rivers and streams. Now, a lot of measures are also being taken so that they don't pollute our streams, our environment. A lot of work is research and development is taking place along these lines so that the pollution is minimized. And maybe if we can design a system where the input of one industry becomes the output of other, output of one industry becomes the input of other, so that it is being used fruitfully. Like, for example, plastic, which has been polluting our environment. Now, a lot of work is being done. Some bacteria is being developed so that they can eat up these plastics and turn it into something useful. And then, okay, Praveen, you read.
Affects employees building, mass production and assembly line involve repetitive work. Factory employee may spend their entire shift standing in the same spot doing the same task over and over. This can leave employees feeling unmotivated, bored, or isolated. Repetitive motion can also lead to condition like carpal tunnel syndrome, when employee feel unappreciated or unfulfilled. Factories face high turnover rate, lack
See,
of production,
okay, continue.
lack of production, uniqueness, uniqueness, mass production, sorry, mass produced goods lack uniqueness. In today world, many consumer want customized product that feel personal and express their identity. Some manufacturer offer customized product while other do not have the capability to mass production produce custom goods. As consumer demand for customized product continues to grow, manufacturer will need to adopt new technology like 3D printer to evolve.
So you can see कि employees well-being in some way it is helping, but in other ways it is because it is so much boredom. You are doing the same job over and over again, so you become so the employees, they become unmotivated, bored, or isolated because you are confined to your own space. Because you can, for example, have you ever, if you see a go through any video which shows you the how workers are working in Amazon warehouses, the amount of work they have to do. In fact, in UK, there was a lot of people were talking about the hard work which these workers in warehouses have to do it. They have to keep track of so many items. We are very happy that we receive or we order online and we receive the things. But the way the things are being brought to us, the amount of hard work these people have to do, so they are being affected. That is one of the factors which you have to look at. After all, the workers are also part of this universe. They are also part of us. And then lack of uniqueness. Mass produced means everything is same. That as a human being, we don't want. Sometimes everybody wants something of their own usual taste. So that becomes a bit difficult in mass production. Until and unless better technologies, they invest in better technology like 3D printers and all, and produce things according to individual tastes. That means another investment.
मैम इसी को अगर हम दूसरे तरीके से लेते हैं एक्चुअली क्योंकि हम प्रैक्टिकली डे टू डे बेसिस पे क्योंकि ये चीजें देखते हैं, तो जो भी वर्कर है उसको अगर पर्टिकुलर टास्क डेली दिया जाता है तो दे कैन प्रोड्यूस इफेक्टिवली, गिव द प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी.
स्पेशलाइजेशन ऑफ लेबर हुआ, बट कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा स्पेशलाइजेशन, क्योंकि एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग हम लोग एक ही काम करते करते बोर हो जाते हैं, तो थोड़ा डिविएशन की भी जरूरत है. इसीलिए बहुत जगह आप देखेंगे कि उनको साथ साथ में कुछ टाइम दे दिया जाता है रिक्रिएशन के लिए. बैठ के मेडिटेशन ही कर ले या छोटा सा क्लब बना दिया जाता है जहां जाकर वो थोड़ा देर रिलैक्स कर ले, देन दे स्टार्ट वर्किंग. नंबर ऑफ IT firms are employing this. Not only IT firms but other firms are also employing this, क्योंकि वो they want their workers to be motivated, not to be feel isolated or bored. तो ये सब चीजें भी जरूरी हो गई हैं आज आप लोग तो खुद ही इंडस्ट्री से हैं, आपको पता होगा. Any of you can give us some examples?
मैम सुनते तो हैं कि बहुत अच्छे जो जैसे गूगल है, इस तरीके के जो बहुत ही हाईली एम्प्लॉयर्स हैं, वहां पे ये पॉसिबल है. बट अगर हम अपनी बात करते हैं तो इस तरीके की एक्टिविटी नहीं है और ना ही इतना टाइम होता है कि आप उसको थोड़ा सा इस तरीके से स्पेयर टाइम दें फॉर रिलैक्सेशन. या तो कंटिन्यूअस 8 आवर जॉब है तो वो उसको कंटिन्यू प्रोडक्शन, क्योंकि फ्रीज है कि इतनी क्वांटिटी देनी है, टारगेट्स हैं, तो उतना टाइम नहीं मिलता है. हर्षिता जी शायद
कभी कभी जैसे जो नेगेटिव इफेक्ट हो जाता है एम्प्लॉयज पर यदि किया जाए तो शायद, क्योंकि अभी हमारे यहाँ तो स्पेशली इन इंडिया जॉब्स कम है, लोग ज्यादा हैं, तो इतना ज्यादा है कि वो कोई छोड़ना भी नहीं चाहता है कि कहीं हम थोड़ा रिलैक्स करें तो दूसरे के हाथ में ना चला जाए जॉब। भाई सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स भी तो है, ऐसा नहीं है ना कि सब चीज मैकेनिकल है।
एक्चुअली कल्चर नहीं है मैम,
कल्चर भी नहीं है। अब जैसे कोई अपना भी काम कर रहा है तो इतना ज्यादा उसमें इन्वॉल्व रहता है कि इतना ज्यादा कंपटीशन है कि इवन इफ ही इज फीलिंग बोर्ड, इवन ही इज फीलिंग सप्रेस्ड, he or she has to keep on working. कंपटीशन इतना ज्यादा है ना।
हंसता जी ऐसे ही होता है ना, आप प्रोडक्शन से हैं तो शायद।
आप पढ़ना सुनाइए।
सॉरी,
मैं कह रहा हूँ आप प्रोडक्शन से हैं, शायद ऐसा ही होता है ना, अपने यहाँ तो कल्चर यही है।
हाँ मोस्टली।
हाँ, चाह कर भी आप नहीं रिलैक्स कर सकते हैं।
जी मैम,
हाँ,
तो
मगर
टारगेट्स, डेली टारगेट्स हैं वो अचीव करने ही करने हैं।
करने ही करने। बात यह है ना कि जब हम पढ़ाते रहते हैं तो वी टॉक अबाउट आइडियल सिचुएशन, वो होता नहीं है, एक्चुअल लाइफ में होता नहीं है।
राइट मैम।
तो मगर बट दैट इज, यदि हो सकता है फ्यूचर में थिंग्स माइट चेंज। जैसे कुछ आईटी कंपनीज में, इवन आई हैव नॉट सीन माई सेल्फ, whatever I have read that they are given certain times on for their own self, and so that they can relax and work better. ये भी है ना कि किस एम्प्लॉयज भी उसको किस तरह यूजफुली यूज करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं। जैसे हमारे यहाँ टीचिंग में इतना ज्यादा तो ये नहीं है, जैसे आई वाज इन ए यूनिवर्सिटी, तो वहां पर इतना ज्यादा नहीं कि यू हैव टू बी देयर एट दिस टाइम एंड लीव इट एट दिस टाइम, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। You come for your class and you go, but उसमें भी लोग are not very sincere. So this has a negative effect on the students. So it is a two-way process.
Yes ma'am.
It is anything is a two-way process. आप भी उसको कितनी ईमानदारी से यूज करते हैं, दूसरा भी उसको आपकी तकलीफ को कितनी ईमानदारी से समझ सकता है। And that is what I feel. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Right ma'am. Right ma'am. Affects employees, unhealthy habits. Mass production can reduce the need to perform labor intensive tasks as machine do the grunt work. Fewer people need to engage in physical activity. For example, farmer can plant and harvest crop using mass produce machinery rather than doing farm work by hand. Likewise, mass production car enable many people to drive to work instead of walk. Although mass production techniques have increased safety in many instances, they have also led the sedentary lifestyle for many. Lastly, mass production food, which is often high is fat and salt, has become part of unhealthy diet for many Americans. And unhealthy diets increase the risk of disease related to obesity.
अब क्या होता है?
Invent जी
हाँ, मास प्रोडक्शन में अनहेल्दी हैबिट्स बहुत ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि जो हम लोग पहले हाथ से करते थे, जिसमें ये है कि अब क्या करते हैं लोग, they'll go to a gym, उनसे कहो कि सट्टी तक पैदल चले जाओ तो they will not go. उसके लिए भी या तो उनको कार चाहिए या मोटरसाइकिल चाहिए, but they'll go to the gym and spend some time. For example, our mothers, they used to do a lot of work with their hands, like grinding, like looking after the different grains. तो उनका उसमें टाइम भी जाता था और थोड़ा फिजिकल वर्क भी हो जाता था. That which we are not able to do it ourselves. So we have to spend certain time, क्योंकि physical activity is also very necessary to keep our lives healthy and comfortable. So we have to do some other work कहीं जिम गए, कहीं वॉक के लिए गए, कहीं कुछ के लिए गए, एंड अनहेल्दी फूड लेने का भी बहुत आदत हो गया। अब आज के बच्चे कैसे हैं, उनको पिज्जा चाहिए और बेकन चाहिए, ये चाहिए, which is high on fat and salt, which both are very unhealthy for. So for that, they'll again go for some other work. So there are certain things which leads to unhealthy habits, which we have to take care of. Inventory building.
Inventory building, mass production create large quantity at once. As a result, product may build up before they can be sold. Excess inventory requires a large amount of warehouse space, which costs money and energy to maintain. Although manufacturers can sell extra stock to discount retailers, they can also benefit from limit inventory as much as possible.
अब क्या होता है, लास्ट मास प्रोडक्शन है तो इन्वेंट्री भी बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, बिकॉज यू इन्वेंट्री अब उतना बेच सको उस समय, उतने छोटे समय में तो ठीक है, नहीं तो यू विल हैव टू हैव अ स्पेस वेयर दे आर केप्ट प्रॉपर्ली, नहीं तो उनका फिर वैल्यू डिक्रीज करेगा। तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल विद द इन्वेंट्री। देन लॉस ऑफ जॉब्स फॉर अनस्किल्ड वर्कर्स।
Loss of job for unskilled workers. Mass production, faster innovation, and has led of the development of advanced machinery. Today's systems are less physically demanding than they used to be, and instead required special skill and technology. This means that manufacturer are hiring high skilled workers such as engineer and computer programmers, and leaving low skilled worker without a job. For example, like according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 7.5 million manufacturing jobs have been lost since 1980. Uh, Furthermore, 2017 McKinsey Global Institute report estimates that up to 800 million workers could be displaced by automation by 2030 around the world.
आप लोग अपने आप को देखिए, why you are doing this? To upgrade yourself. आज वो बहुत important हो गया है. Even me at this age, I'm learning new things, new technology. If I have to be there in the market, I have to know all these things. So loss of job is there, so for unskilled workers. So you have to keep on upgrading yourself to become skilled workers and be in the market. In the importance
of flow mass production. Lower prices and greater access for all. Mass production enable people around the globe to acquire food, clothing, housing, medical supplies, car, and much more. In other words, it help people survive and evolve. Before mass production, goods are made to order. It took time for consumer to get the product they demanded, and time cost money. Today, manufacturers can quickly meet consumer demand and make a profit at the same time. Meanwhile, consumer save money because mass production is efficient. Also, thanks to mass production, the average person has access to more resources. Wealthy individuals are no longer the only one who can travel or learn a foreign language. The average person has access to technology that open up a world of information and knowledge to them. Without mass production, the majority of people would not be connected to information and each other through device like smartphone and laptops.
you can see lower price and greater access for all. because this is due to mass production. We are all connected, mostly all people are connected through smartphones and laptops. So we get so much knowledge, which we, like our generation, when we were your age, we did not know so many things. But because of the availability of information is so easily, we are getting these knowledge. So you can upgrade yourself also. You can upgrade yourself only if you have the accessibility. That is very important. And that has become possible because of mass production. Yes, continue.
The bigger, the better for companies and consumer. Larger entities experience big saving when they have greater output, and this in turn allow them to offer lower price to consumer. This is because it costs less to produce large volume at once than it does to manufacturer small quantity over time. Large companies also save when they buy raw material in bulk and use them to mass production goods. They can also pass these savings on to consumers. In general, the bigger the entity and the more production power they have, the less it costs to produce goods.
So naturally, mass production has led to bigger companies, and bigger companies means more production. So naturally, the production cost is going down, quality is improving.
लेकिन मैम अभी कल्चर चेंज होता जा रहा है, मास प्रोडक्शन तो कर रहे हैं लेकिन एज पर डिमांड कर रहे हैं। और
हाँ, वो भी तो हम लोगों ने किया ना, कि अब उसमें भी, अब देखो ह्यूमन नेचर है ना, हम एक मास प्रोडक्शन से अब बोर हो गए हैं, अब वी वांट कस्टमाइज्ड। तो उसके लिए भी टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है, नहीं आ रही है, कि उसमें भी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ला सकते हैं वो।
जी, क्योंकि अभी एज पर डिमांड ही, मतलब जो, क्योंकि आप जैसे देख रहे हैं ऑटोमोबाइल्स में या किसी, क्योंकि जो ऑर्डर्स होते हैं फिर वो प्री बुकिंग ले रहे हैं, इन्वेंट्री को रिड्यूस करते जा रहे हैं।
तो ऐसा है, देखो मार्केट का जो डिमांड होगा तो अकॉर्डिंगली द कंपनीज विल हैव टू चेंज, क्योंकि मेन तो वही है, वो डिमांड को यदि फुलफिल नहीं कर पाया तो बेकार है। मास प्रोड्यूस करे चाहे जैसे भी पड़े, वो बेच ही नहीं पाएगा, उसको तो क्या फायदा, क्या है।
Paved the way for mass customization. Without mass production, mass customization would not exist. Mass customization refer to produce custom product quickly with low unit cost. This allows manufacturer to meet consumer demand. If a customer want a certain design or feature without high prices, manufacturer can deliver when they have mass customization capabilities. Furniture companies, for example, often offer customer the opportunity to choose from different fabric or component. They have the resources to mass produce furniture while still creating personalized item. Many consumers value customization. One study published in Helion found that some consumer feel emotionally attached to product that have been customized and match their preferences. Manufacturer who do not want to get left behind can consider how they can incorporate customize in their system.
अब जैसे देखो, मास कस्टमाइजेशन से थोड़ा सा प्राइस भी तो इंक्रीज कर जाएगा, तो कुछ लोग तो दे आर रेडी टू पे दैट प्राइस फॉर देयर इंडिविजुअल डिमांड्स। तो there will always be a market who will be satisfied with the mass production, so you will have to focus on that market. Abhi you take the people from the lower strata of the society, आज उनके कपड़े देखो, उनके पास सामान देखो, that is much better what they had some years back. हो सकता है it might be a replica of some well-designed shoe or well-designed shirt, but they have got it at a cheaper rate because that has been copied and mass-produced. So they are able to wear that design. हो सकता है ओरिजिनल नहीं हो सकता है कॉपी हो, पर वो कॉपी भी तो अवेलेबल है ना अब, जो पहले नहीं था, या एक्सेप्टेंस ही नहीं था। वो उनको जो दूसरे कम्युनिटी वाले थे चाहते ही नहीं थे कि वो कुछ पहने, अच्छा खाए, अच्छा रहे। आज भी होते हैं कुछ इंसिडेंट्स, होते हैं रिपोर्ट्स भी होते हैं, पता नहीं कितना सच है कितना झूठ है, बट व्हाट आई सी अराउंड मी, आई सी कि कंपैरेटिवली the way they are living, the way they are educating their children has really undergone a sea change over the years. अब जैसे ये मास प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, कार है, बॉटल्स हैं, as I told you ना, मास प्रोडक्शन और बैच प्रोडक्शन एक तरह का वो एक्सटेंशन ही है। बैच से हम लोग फिर मास में पहुंच गए हैं। बाइसिकल है। So that is all for today. So we have discussed in detail job production, batch production and mass production. You have seen that there is advantages and disadvantages, and it is the demand of the time which counts a lot. लोगों को क्या पसंद है और क्या वो अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, दोनों चीज होनी चाहिए। पसंद से ही तो सब कुछ नहीं हो सकता, यू हैव टू अफोर्ड इट। तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दिस, जो अभी मास प्रोडक्शन से अगेन वी आर मूविंग टू, बट दैट इज फॉर अ स्मॉल मार्केट अभी तक। आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट इज नॉट देयर, बट दैट इज देयर, बट फॉर द मेजॉरिटी इट इज द मास प्रोडक्ट व्हिच इज केटरिंग टू द डिमांड ऑफ देयर डिमांड। Do you have any question? You can ask me, or will Praveen and Harshita, both of you can ask me anything you want. Or should I end the session?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Good night. Have a
Good
nice
night,
weekend.